machine. But when you're lining up a hairline that you're using synthetic hair with, you want to use something that's powerful, that's sharp, that's not going to dull, because you want to be able to give it that really, really sharp effect, like that really beautiful lineup. So, yes, exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm going to go back with my trimmer, and I'm just going to cut any excess hair.
So you are just freehand shaping at this
shaping
point over
it,
the
blending
surface.
it, flushing it with my machine. So this is just one part. This is just the hairline restoration part of it. And now I'm going to do the sides. The sides where the magic happens. The sides what brings everything together. The sides is what gives it that very natural effect. And so when I sprinkled it on here, I sprinkled it very lightly because I still want some, I'm going to pull your head down. I still want some scalp exposure. If it looks like it's too, his hair and the hair that I just installed, what you want is to be able to see some scalp exposure so it looks natural. So when he's moving his head and talking to you, talking to anybody, you see the light bounce off of his scalp. So
you decide which is the best approach.
Okay, so if the hair is already low, like his hair is already low, so I can pretty much blend upward. But if the hair is a lot, I would typically begin blending down, and then I'll work my way up.
Barber Boss Lady is still finessing the sides here, so I assume you're getting ready to prep the handlebars, as we say, and that C-cup area. So talk us through what you have going on now.
So on the little C-cup area right here, that's a new one I learned too, by the way. I would always just say the sides, and a lot of these young barbers have been educating me on saying this is the C-cup, right? So I'm going to erase because I don't want to have this very dark line on here. I just want to be able to blur it out and see where I'm going to add the glue. So this is what's going to make the hair come together. And you're going to see right now what I'm talking about. It's very magical.
When you say erase, what does that mean?
When I say what?
Erase.
So when I'm erasing the line, so there's a line that I made to guide me along with the glue, but I'm erasing this line here with a little bit of rubbing alcohol because I'm allowing a lot of scalp exposure. I can't completely cover the line, so I gotta erase it and blur it out a little bit.
Hey Angie, so you're at the front line, right?
Right now, I'm at the front line, and I'm gonna create the line with my glue, and I'm gonna bring it all the way in. So my glue is kind of like my pencil right now.
Angie, I see that you are doing the lineup. So can you talk us through how you line up the hair and whether you start from the center, the sides?
So I do start from the center.
Angie.
He was really easy because I could see where his lineup started, and then it started to recede back.
Angie.
Oh. Sorry.
Go ahead, Angie.
So typically I start in the middle, and what I do is I look at the hairline first. I see if there's any side that naturally goes up higher. I see if there's a side that's naturally thinner, or just all unison. So from there, I start in the middle, and if he has one side that usually goes up higher, I start on the stronger side, and then I go to the weaker side.
Can you show us your hand positioning as you are lining up? Because I know that's a big one, especially for cosmetologists that are not used to the clippers. Walk us through that.
So I usually use my thumb. I hold the skin taut, so all the hairs is popping up that I need. Now, when I do go to actually cut, I'm not just digging in. What I'm doing is, I don't know if you can see me, so I'm using the middle of my blade and the corner of my blade to actually get a precise line. I'm not using the entire blade. So that would look like this.
you pulling into the hairline or are you tapping and pulling out?
I am tapping and pulling out.
Okay, Osiris, so you're now building the sideline.
I'm building the sideline so that it flushes into his frontal right here. So basically now I'm kind of going a little bit into his natural hair so that I can blend it in a little bit better so that you
Okay,
can...
so you're dotting. This is awesome.
Yeah.
You're dotting where you want follicle to sit. So you're not necessarily smoothing
No,
that and rubbing
I'm not
that
just
down.
smoothing it's really very specific to the dots. Where the dots sit is where the hair's going to fall, and it's going to give it that flushing effect. So this is what I'm showing you right now.
Okay, so
I'm using more of my corner than the middle of my blade. Corner than the middle of my blade.
how do you know the way to shape a man's beard?
So usually I ask them what they like first. Sometimes they'll give me the freedom to say, hey, what looks best on my face?
Can you give us that consultation walkthrough with his face? Like, how do you know the shape to give him based off what you're seeing here?
So right now I can see the lines of demarcation of where he had his cut before. So I can see the little hairs coming right in.
Can you
So
sit
I'm
up for me?
giving him something that he's already accustomed to. So you can see like the hairs coming in right in here. So I'm pretty much just cleaning up what I know he already likes.
Osiris, I see you are now polishing up the hairline.
So I want to show you guys the
It
difference
looks awesome.
between where he doesn't have the side. You see the side and the lineup, and then when he has the side and the side lineup. So it's absolutely naturally flush, you see? And I did all of that with my clippers, and I love this because like now I'm going to show you guys how I faded. I'm fading the synthetic hair with his hair. And so normally I would give him a haircut, but he's a model for another barber, so that barber let me borrow him. So, but usually I would have faded him or given him a nice taper. But even if they don't want a haircut, I can still make it happen. I can still make it look beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Wow, it looks amazing. Okay, you guys agree, right? It looks awesome. The difference and how it just defines his face and sharpen his features.
Right.
Angie, what is that you got in your hand?
So this is actually the Minty Moisturizer in Shine. Again, I do not use shaving gel. I do not use shaving creams. All I need is the moisturizer, and it's better for his skin, it's better for his hair, it's better for his scalp. So what we're going to do now, we're going to prep the skin.
So I can say that I like the Skin and Beard Moisturizer. It's full of vitamins. So for clients or models that have skin sensitivities, folliculitis, right, any type of irritations, that starts to smooth away the skin over time. And it also glides with the blade real easy.
So I'm holding the skin taut with my thumb so the hairs can stick up so it gets a nice clean shave.
Like he doesn't want to walk around and have people ask him like, oh, why does your hair look this way? Or why does one side look different than the other? We want to make it look as natural and flushed as possible. And so I'm sprinkling right at the top of his head in between where my synthetic unit started and where his natural hair is ending.
would your model take care of this at home? And how long does this particular technique last?
So this is about a 2 to 4 week unit. So it'll take him about, depending on his home care, 2 weeks if he's not very good about taking care of it. They just spray it on there, they foam it on there, they work it in there. What they can do is just grab a hot towel and just roll it right off. And it comes absolutely off like it was never there. So that's what I send them to be able to maintain, wash, and clean without having to see me every other day. You know, they don't have that kind of time.
There's another question. There's stigmas when it comes to hairsprays. What makes the workable hairspray safe to use on a daily basis?
One, it's natural, and two, it doesn't build up. Like if you were to use an Aquanet or anything harsh like that, those are full of...
The workable spray as well. It's bamboo, water, and sugar cane. It's bamboo, water, and sugar cane. That's what gives it the hold.
Yeah, that's so natural.
Okay, Angie, I see you making our guy look sharp right there. So tell us about the shaver that you're using.
So this shaver also has a titanium blade, so it's actually going to get very close and with the shave. And not only that, but the best part about it is you can adjust the RPMs. This is the first shaver that I've actually seen that you can adjust the RPMs. So you can make it stronger. You can take away some of the power if need be and adjust it to your client.
And what does that mean, adjusting it? When would you make it go faster, and when would you reduce the speed?
So if someone had more coarse hair and it was really resistant, like it did not want to cut, I would actually make it higher. I would get more power so I can make sure I get in there effectively and properly.
This is a tool that's really great for stylists who can't use shavers. So can you give us some tips on how they can get a clean line with these shavers? A crisp edge up?
Well, me typically, I do my line first with the...
At the end, I don't worry about if I can see the pencil. I don't worry about if there's like patches or anything. I just kind of let it sit and acclimate to the skin. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to make the frontal just a little bit darker because